it's 6 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It's that one meeting a year where I get to do that because it's our reorganization meeting. That's why Steve's not talking. Pursuant to Governor Healy's March 28th, 25 revised order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law 30A, Section 18, extending remote participation through June 2027. Meetings of the Berkshire Regional School Committee will be conducted both in person and remote. Agenda items listed are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, and not all items listed may in fact be discussed. Items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. This meeting is being recorded by CTSV.
Recording in progress.
And the school committee recorder, and we will be broadcast. Once transcribed and approved, minutes will be made public and posted to our website at bhrsd.org. So our first order of business is reorganization tonight, and we always do that with first the election of officers, and then second the appointment of school committee representatives to the subcommittees. So I'd like to start with any nominations for the chair position.
Motion to nominate Steve Bannon for chair.
Seconded.
And just because I'm obligated, any other motions? Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Steve, I hand you back the gavel.
Thank you very much. We now have nominations for vice chair.
I nominate Richard Mahoney.
Second. Any other nominations? Hearing none. I actually have to do this by roll call, but the superintendent is new at this, so. Because we have one member.
Do you want to go back and do the first?
No,
one?
if someone challenges me, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's not. Sarah Tonetti,
Yes.
Allison.
Let's see if I can unmute her.
Yeah. Jason St. Peter.
Aye.
Andy.
Aye.
Bill.
Aye.
Bill.
Yes.
Diane.
Yes.
Sarah.
Aye.
Rick.
Aye.
And I.
And you could go back to Allison.
Allison, are you
Yes.
muted?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes,
Thank you. We now have assistant treasurer. Do I have a motion?
I nominate Sarah Borla.
Second. Any other nominations? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Sarah.
Yes.
Allison.
yes,
Jason. Aye. Andy.
Aye.
Bill. Aye. Bill.
Yes.
Diane.
Yes.
Sarah.
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
And yes. Unanimous. Secretary, do I have a nomination?
I recommend or nominate Diane Singer.
Second. Any other nominations? Hearing none. Roll call. Sarah.
Yes.
Allison.
yes,
Jason. Andy.
Aye.
Bill.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Diane.
Yes.
Sarah.
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
And I, it's unanimous. Peter, did we do that in June, right? The treasurer?
I think we did the treasurer. in
Yeah,
June.
okay, that's, just put
And,
on the list to test me.
and the recorder remains Sheila Clary, and I don't think
We do that in June also.
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. So subcommittees, Sarah Tonetti is the newest member here, but she's been here long enough. If you have questions about what a subcommittee does, we'll be happy to answer it, but there are no new members. So we'll see if we can do this rather quickly. We start with the negotiation subcommittee. Currently, it's myself, Sarah Borla, and Jason St. Peter. Is there anyone who wants to get off or on to that? So.
Get off?
No, I didn't say I would let you off, I just asked if you want.
We're refusing your resignation.
Policy, myself, Jason, Andy, and Sarah Tonetti. Anyone who wants to get on or off? Buildings and Grounds Subcommittee, Jason, Bill Fields, Diane, and Sarah Borla.
I think that committee should stay the same, given the project. It's my
Solve the
suggestion.
problem. We solved the parking problem.
Yes. Superintendent's evaluation is Bill Vogt, Andy Potter, and Allison Reed. Anyone want to get off or on to them? Okay, I don't hear anyone. Finance subcommittee is actually full, so if no one wants to get off, we don't like to have a quorum. So it's Rich, myself, Bill Fields, Bill Vogt, and Andy Potter. There's no changes there. Vocational advisory board is myself, Jason, Diane, and Sarah Borland. Anyone want to change? And MASC representatives, don't ask what they do, it's Bill Fields and Andy Potter.
Well, we're gonna get more aggressive about that.
This might be the
Right, yeah,
year we go to the.
I think this
conference.
is 3 years in a row you've told me that.
I've only been back for like.
Yeah.
Seems like 4. Before we close this, anybody want to change on anything? Second thoughts? And Jason, I'm ignoring you completely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the committee stayed the same. Don't you be happy?
Yeah.
It's much easier.
Yeah.
I just want to start. Sharon Harrison, our longtime business administrator, is not here tonight. She's been on leave, she's back, but she's retiring. And I just want to take a moment to recognize Sharon on the occasion of her retirement. She started working for the district in 2006. And this is her 19th year. She just completed. She served as our business administrator and supervised busing, food services, and a number of other areas. She chaired the Berkshire Health Group, supported MASBO, and was recognized by them with an award. We just need to all wish her well in her retirement and appreciate how seriously and professionally she performed her duties. It's been such a pleasure to work with Sharon over these years. So I just would be remiss if we didn't recognize her.
Would you like a resolution?
I
A resolve to put your statement into the record officially.
Second.
will take a roll call vote. Sarah,
Yes.
Allison,
yes,
Jason,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Bill,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Sarah,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
and I, it's unanimous. We have in our packet minutes of November 6, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any corrections, deletions, additions? Hearing none, roll call vote. Sarah,
Yes.
Allison,
yes,
Jason,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Bill,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Sarah,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
and I, it's unanimous. We will now turn it over to the superintendent.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the principal's report, and then we've got two visitors from the American Legion and Veterans, and we'll ask them to come up after the principal's report. So Maribel, from the student perspective, what's happening at the high school?
Quite a bit. So first, our fall sports season has wrapped up. It's been a very eventful season, as I'm sure you're all aware, because there's always something fun to talk about going on. A couple of the highlights of the end of the fall sports season include cross country, where we had both teams compete in full in the districts competition very strongly, and then our girls team actually ran fast enough to qualify as a full team for districts, or pardon me, for states, so that was great. And then the boys team had Evan Pacheco place the top 10 statewide, so that was really cool. And our unified basketball team finished up their season with the unified jamboree, which is hosted by Mount Greylock this year. I again just want to take the opportunity to emphasize this wonderful program. It gets mentioned a lot because of how beloved it is by our entire community, and that is for a good reason. I recently attended their senior night, and it is the best student section I've ever been in. It's just this hub of joy and inclusion and energy, and it's delightful. We had our homecoming dance hosted by the class of 2026. It was really great. We had students from sort of all different communities within the school. Monument is unique in the sense that there are a lot of different things that students are involved in. And events like homecoming give us a great opportunity to sort of pull from all areas of the student body for a common event. So that was really fun. Everyone had a great time. Good way to spend a Saturday night. Our students participating in Fall Fest put on two absolutely fantastic performances of 12th night, which is, I guess, Shakespeare wrote a lot of love triangles, so this is one of his love triangles. It gets quite complicated, but our students did an excellent job making sure you understood what was happening, which is not always easy in Shakespeare. It's super funny. If you're looking for something to do at 8:30 p.m. tonight, it is playing again at the Teen Backer Playhouse as part of the festival. or if like we should into this weekend, Belfast is running all weekend long, and it is a rock concert of Shakespeare for lack of a better term. For anybody who was invested in the tragic saga of our Central Boys bathroom, you'll be happy to know that it is open again after several weeks of closure. Tyler added this one to the doc in all caps with a lot of exclamation points. So I think it's come as quite a relief to about half of our school community. So fingers crossed that it stays that way. And then we are going on break next week. This is our first actual school break since we've been back in August, and I think it's safe to say that the period from when we come back to the period of Thanksgiving is one of the heftiest lifts in the entire school year. Everyone has been in definite go mode since we got back. So I think we'll probably all benefit from some time off, wishing everyone a lovely holiday with their families. Sort of related to that, in terms of challenges, as we get closer to break and kids start to get antsier, we have been having more of a problem with phones. This typically tends to happen right before we go on break because kids have been in school for a while. Everyone can like sense the freedom coming and people start to get loosey-goosey, poor self-control. So that's been a bit of an issue in terms of just making sure everyone stays consistent with the rules. We're hoping a little time off to fix that. Thanks, Edison.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. McCandless?
All right.
We're gonna
It'll take me a half an hour to get to the front of the room.
Oh, I'm sorry. Take a seat, but I missed Christopher. Christopher, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Great.
Yeah, I have a couple things. Thank you, Mirabelle. Obviously, as always, well done. We appreciate it. Just wanted to share a couple pieces of good news. We've been working for over a year with our school council. We have a very committed group of folks on that council, and we often meet twice a month. Sometimes it's once a month. And I just wanted to take a quick moment to recognize their collaboration and leadership on all manner of things. But most of all, for being so committed to our school and to our students. I have a great appreciation for them. And based on the joyful opening on the first day of school that the school council promoted and put on, our Social Emotional Leadership Committee is planning a joyful event on Monday, the 24th. They felt that this was a perfect time to do it, given that some students somehow feel as if that's not a school day. But yes, in fact, Monday, the 24th is a school day, and we expect all of our students to be in attendance. We'll start the day with some fun morning snacks and then have a pep rally event to kick off the day. And again, we appreciate the SEL committee and their planning to put the fun back in Monday. Something else that is a little fun and different is trivia lunch at Monument Mountain Regional High School. Our librarian, Miss Staunton Strawn, hosts this event in the library. I was able to pop in there, and there must have been 70 or 80 students playing trivia with Miss Staunton Strawn leading the game. Packed all around the tables, all over the place. It was very cool and very fun to see. I don't see that, this is really the only school I've ever seen that happen in, and it really adds a cool culture and, again, fun to our school. And I want to thank Kara and others who assist in this effort. As you know, we have 2 more days with students and then a full day of PD on Tuesday, the 25th. I just want to express our appreciation that we have that time to dedicate to review data in our curriculum in order to improve our practice. We intend on taking full advantage of this time, and I just want to, again, express our appreciation. And the only other thing I have to add is just one challenge. You all know we've been working on this, and we still continue to work on the challenge of student absences with our student support team leading the way. It's clearly going to be, a longer effort, at least a year, if not a multi-year effort. It's a significant challenge, and we recognize this, but and we know that it won't turn around in a day or a week or a month, but we're on it, and I just want to let you all know that. So, thank you.
Great, thank you. So Jake.
Great. Gosh, thanks to all of the artists from the district for the new artwork that's up. It's need to come and spend a little more time here, but really remarkable. This past Tuesday, we had a great day with our One School, One Story author, a gentleman named Nicholas Day, who is from Northampton, wrote The Mona Lisa Vanishes, and he spent the day with us on Tuesday. He did an assembly for our 5th and 6th grade and then our 7th and 8th grade. Our students, as usual, were a magnificent audience. But then he went on to spend most of the rest of the day signing books, meeting with students in small groups, doing activities with students, talking about Da Vinci, the Mona Lisa, the theft, the newest theft at the Louvre, nicely timed for our sake. And just about the work of being an author. And it was really cool, you know, our One School, One Story committee, which is several teachers led by our librarian Jennifer Guerin, just did a really awesome job. And it was a really fun day and a cool experience for kids. We too are grateful for the full upcoming PD day. We're gonna spend a good part of at least a good part of the morning with a couple of other people we're really thankful for here in the district, and that is our board certified behavior analysts. As you know, I've worked in several districts in the Berkshires. This is the first district that has its own full-time BCBAs. And the amount of meetings canceled and schedules that had to be altered and things that just had to be shifted around, all of which delayed serving kids better. Waiting for people from outside agencies to come in and do this work in other districts is immense. And the toolkit that these people bring to be able to help support teachers, support kids, is massive. And so we're really grateful for the PD time, and we're really grateful to be in a district that invests wisely in people that do what Megan and Alyssa do. We have 70 students who are signed up to take part in the musical this year. The musical is called Something Rotten. It's a play on Hamlet. And the auditions don't start for a few weeks, so we anticipate there's gonna be about 80 kids auditioning and taking part in the Du Bois musical. And Kristen, I will just tell you, you have to come to the Du Bois musical.
Okay,
It
alright.
will blow you.
Buy a ticket early.
Yeah, it will blow your doors off. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. And while it's incredibly entertaining, I just think it's amazing what it does to build teamwork in young people, build confidence in young people, and build community among young people and the larger community. And we're just so grateful to everybody that makes that work. Just a quick congratulations to all involved in the Lee Monument Mountain Unified Basketball Program. The Jamboree is always a great event. And if you, I don't know if folks in this part of the county ever go on to Berkshires, those of us that live in the northern part of the county do. They have like 130 pictures from that event. I would suggest in a photo gallery, just go and scroll through the pictures and look at the faces of our kids and look at the faces of the athletes from all of the other schools. It's really good stuff. And we're so glad that to be a part of that, so grateful that our kids from Du Bois get to be a part of that. It's just awesome. And then finally, for the good news, congratulations, one of our students, a 7th grader named Wild Handel, was chosen as the 2025 Outstanding Lead Actress in a Musical Award winner by the Berkshire Theater Critics Association, which covers, you know, our part of Connecticut, New York State, and Vermont. And Wild is a 7th grader. She played Annie in the Mac Hayden production of Annie this summer over in Chatham. And she's incredible. She played, she had a key role in Matilda last year. She played Matilda's mom. She was brilliant. She sang an Olivia Newton-John tune at our end of the year Broadway night at Du Bois, and to get this award is just magnificent. We're really proud of Wild and congratulate her and her parents. In terms of challenges, as we all see this, but you know, I would guess that most of us in this room look forward to the holidays because we know it's going to be awesome. We're going to see our family. We're gonna have a magnificent time. It's clearly not that way for all of our neighbors here in the Berkshires. It's clearly not that way for all of our kids, and we see it in their behavior leading up to the holidays. I just, again, to end on the theme of gratitude, so grateful in South County, the number of people and organizations that are just rolling up their sleeves and flexing their muscles to make sure everybody has something for the holidays to look forward to is really magnificent. We're proud of our kids for playing a part in that. We're proud of our students for playing a part in that. And we're really grateful to live in a bunch of communities that just take care of each other. And that just remember that some folks really need a lot of help in order to make the holidays festive and warm and loving. So, thank you. That's it.
Great, thanks.
Thanks.
Cynthia?
Good evening. Hello. We had at Muddy Brook, we had, a really lovely Veterans Day celebration. We had about 25 veterans come to school and have breakfast with their families, served by Kathy Sullivan and her crew, in the cafeteria, which was really wonderful. So a huge shout out to Kathy and all the people that work in our kitchen. Super grateful. And then we had an assembly, a whole school assembly for them, where songs were shared and poems were shared and slide decks were shared. It's a really wonderful experience. So that was wonderful. This week I did have my school council meeting as well. I'm grateful for that group of parents and community members who come and advise me and give input from a completely different perspective than the one that I typically stand in. So their help is really important as I plan to write a school improvement plan, as I plan to help support my families and my kids. We had a really wonderful faculty meeting yesterday that was a trauma-informed faculty meeting. It was presented by a outside firm that works with our BCBAs here at school. And every one of my faculty members, almost every one of my faculty members was there. And it was, I said, if they had just stopped even after the first 10 minutes, we all would have learned something. But they obviously went on to teach us even more. It was wonderful. I also had a PRISM meeting last week with my curriculum council staff. The PRISM is the grant that we're getting from DESE in order for us to purchase a core ELA curriculum and to receive professional development for my staff. It was a great meeting. The woman who's running it from TNTP does a really lovely job. We talked about core components for an ELA curriculum. We talked about what we thought we needed at Muddy Brook. We talked about the guidelines for the curriculum's selection, and we talked about the process for piloting. All of us learned a lot. We all have a better understanding of sort of the work we have in front of us and what we need to do to work together to serve our kiddos and get a curriculum that meets our needs and the needs of our teachers. And then looking forward, last year was the first year that our first grade did a Thanksgiving Day parade where the kiddos made balloons and put them, like balloons that looked like things, and put them on sticks and carried them around to sort of mimic the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day parade. And it was such a hit that all the other grade levels wanted to do it. So on Monday, we will have the Muddy Brook Thanksgiving Day parade. Other grade levels are actually going to make floats. So there will be floats and there will be balloons. We have a banner. And so people will be carrying a banner through, and I invite you all to come and see because it's so much fun. It's so cool. So that will be amazing.
At 2:30.
At 2:30 on Monday. please come. And if the weather's good, we'll like, parade outside and then back into the back of the building. And if not, we'll parade down our main hallway and through the gym. And then for challenges, our challenge as well is student attendance. I'm working with my school council on that. I'm working with my staff on that. I've had several parent meetings around it. So we are working on it, but it's still a challenge.
And I've just got two things before we introduce our guests. I wanted to thank, a really special thanks to Krista Dalton. As you came in, you noticed there's student art all over. This room's filled with student art. The hallway is the vestibule by the elevator. And Krista worked to get art from Allie and Katie, the middle and elementary school teacher, as well as Danny Odell, the other high school art teacher. And then she bought all these frames, mounted all the art, their names and all the pieces of work. And we're gonna rotate the art twice a year. So now and probably again in March, they need a little time in the start of the semester to generate enough high quality art that we could frame it, but twice a year. So take a look at it and enjoy it. I find it really wonderful to have student work around us, reminding us of why we're here and what we're doing. So big thanks to Krista Dalton. The second thing is we always talk at sort of budget things about what we're doing to raise concerns about the things that are largely out of our control, like the budget formulas, the budget process, all of this. You all signed off on that letter, and some of you additionally signed off individually. And that was delivered to the governor's office and a number of other places. And then on Tuesday, a number of superintendents and some teachers and community people testified, including myself, on the Chapter 70 Commission. And I brought up school choice, I brought up regional transportation, I brought up the ever-increasing cost of health insurance and the impact on us. And that's all going to get rolled up. I think there's 3 or 4 meetings across the Commonwealth to this commission, and hopefully, and it seemed like they were listening thoughtfully, but hopefully they take all those comments to heart and incorporate it in a revised formula. So we don't do a lot of political action at the state level, and I think this is an important and good example of that. So I'd like to shift gears. We don't have any new grant approvals or donations this week. But I'd like to have our 2 guests from the American Legion and the Veterans Group to come up and talk about their scholarship program. So welcome. We'll put you in these 2 seats, and then the camera will get you.
I am here in lieu of Andy Morrow, and asked him what he wanted for me to say. He says, just be quiet and listen, which is probably the hardest thing. So I will be quiet. I'll try.
I'm George Rowling with the American Legion, Department of Mass, Commander of Berkshire County Legion Group of Legions. I'm also the co-chair of the Boy State program. Reason I'm here is because when I first got involved in Boy State, I went to Mount Everett and talked to the counselors down there and got into their assembly, okay, and pitched the program to juniors, which is what it's for. And because the 2 posts down here, Housatonic and Sheffield, don't have an auxiliary, I also pushed the Girls State program. Both programs have combined to the extent that they are on the same campus at the same time and taught the same courses up until about 1 o'clock. And then the 2 programs diverge and the Girls State do their thing don't ask me what it is, they won't let me in. And the boys state have all sorts of athletics and that sort of stuff downtime. What the boys state programs are. I hope I got enough. Take one.
Yeah, sure.
It's a program for juniors, and it teaches them how Boys State is supposed, or the government is supposed to work. Okay, when the students come in, they're assigned a town and a political party. And that, and as well as a dorm. They go into their town, the town assigns them a room, depending on how many kids there are, one or two to a room. And then they develop their government, okay? They have, they elect everybody from, governor to dog catcher, okay? And, during the week-long program, two students from on the Boys State side are elected to go to Boys Nation, which is held in July down in DC. To represent the Commonwealth. The problem we've had, the first year, when I spoke with, Mike Powell, as I said, I got into their assembly. And then, the Housatonic Post got back up and running and could take the program over. And the problem seems to be getting in to talk to the juniors. We've contacted Mike, and I know Mike he's a Boy Stater, but he's, as your guidance department counsel, he's inundated with all sorts of stuff, okay? So one year, because of that, I've gone through the principal, okay? And been able to get in a couple of times that way. And last year, I tried to get, I think it was, last year before that, tried to get a hold of Peter and get in. And I was, assigned, met with a vice principal. And when I spoke with him, he said, well, the junior classes, they meet by room. Okay. Fine, I'll come up and go room by room, I don't care, so I'll talk to as long as I can talk to the juniors, they get back to me. Needless to say, I never heard from them. And so that seems to be what's happened with the reception Housatonic Post is happening. My thing is, if we can talk to the kids, we can get some students out of it. But, he cuts me off at the knees, I'm done. It's a program, as I say, it's a week-long program. It costs the Post or whoever they get to help sponsor them, a minimum of $400. Okay, and it teaches what we used to have in civics. A lot of schools are no longer teaching civics as such. And they come in, if you have half a dozen kids, they'll be in half a dozen different towns. And they're from all over the Commonwealth. So, I mean, they make friends with kids they may or may not have met before. A lot of them stay friends for life. And then the ones that go to Boys Nation, that's the same thing happens there, and all over again. And we've had some kids from Berkshire County that have been the state governor. And we've had some kids that have gone on into the politics In fact, the one that comes to mind is the, mayor of, Gardner. He's a Boy Scout, and as soon as he was eligible to run for office, he ran, and he knew how to get his kids together, and he beat out the incumbent that was been there for a number of years. You know, and we had one that from up in Vermont, because he went to Clarksville. Yeah. School there, and he ran against one of you members in Vermont. 18. Had no problem walking into the position, you know. So I mean, what I'd like to do is hopefully get your backing so we can get in to talk to the juniors. I know Mr. Dillon's son went one year. I was up there helping Houston interview the kids. I mean, we have a form that we use in Sheffield to garner information, so when we interview them, we can ask intelligent questions about what they do. Most of these kids, I'm old enough to be their grandfather, maybe in some cases their great grandfather. So what they're into is beyond me.
So let me just interrupt for a sec. The principal just reached out to me, and he's in his second year. And I didn't know this, but when he was in school, he went to Keystone Boys State, and both his son and daughter participated in Boys and Girls State in Massachusetts. So he's all in and very supportive around this. So I'll connect the two of you. And we'll set it up so there's no misunderstanding or confusion about presenting, and you have his full support and my full support, and I assume the committee's full support.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I could never convince Andy Morrow that they do teach civics.
No, we do teach
We don't call it
civics.
civics anymore,
Right,
but it's taught. Yes. And it takes them a while.
yeah, so that going forward, we'll get this right now.
Okay, appreciate that. And the other thing I want to talk about, you mentioned scholarships. We have an oratorical contest, okay, it's open basically to freshmen on up. And it's based on the US Constitution. There again, I hope I have enough. It's a use.
Thank you. You can share it.
The cover page may look different because they are for different years, but basically the program's the same. The students write a short essay, 5 or 10 minutes, on what whether the Constitution is relevant or what they think of the Constitution. And they present that to a audience. I know the VFW has something similar, okay? But ours, they write the thing up, they hand their speech into the board, the chairman of the review board, and then they stand up there, give their speech. No podium, no nothing, no speech. And then they have to give a short speech on what's called an assigned topic, which changes year to year. And for this coming year, it's it's Amendment 4, Article 3, Article 4, or Article 5, the Constitution. They will be told which article they have to talk on when they get to the presentation. Okay, so obviously they have to know the Constitution pretty darn well. And it's only a short 3, maybe 4 minute dissertation on it. And the nice thing about it is, the department, first place for the state is $1,250. And then second place is 800, third is 500, and 4 through 6 is 300. And if they go to national, all they have to do is show up at national. They receive an additional 2,000. Okay, and then the national organization has their scholarships are in the thousands. Okay. Off the top of my head, don't know what they are, I can't seem to find it real quick. But you know, it's a program that, you know, if you can talk to the kids about it, you can seemingly get some kids involved in it. But I mean, when I went to go to Mount Everett, I talked about all of them because the first part, this all the kids, and then we keep the juniors back and the rest of them go off. We also have what's called a Junior Youth Cadet Program. It's a cooperation between us and the state police. You know, the state police, they don't commit to much as to when or where, when it'll be. So all I can say is it'll be probably sometime in July. And well, several years, it's been a week-long program. And the kids go through basic training like the state cop would. And even if they don't want to become police officers, you know, it gives them an idea of what they go, the rigors that they go through for their training. And that used to be a standalone, but then this past year, I understand that after they shortened the program down last 3 or 4 years to about 4 days. They incorporated them with the existing class of active state troopers, so that they get a lot more out of it. And it's something that, you know, another program I present at the assembly, but it's an in-your-face program. If you've been in the military, it's just like basic training, you know. If you haven't been in the military, it's in your face, okay?
That's for sure.
You know, so these are things that, you know, if we get in and talk to the kids, we can usually get some. And the more kids we get, up to about 400 kids, the cheaper the program is for the posts. But you know, the Boys State one is the one that needs to be, I've been to Mount Everett already, I gave them our form, and I'm asking to collect them right after Thanksgiving. Okay, that's through the guidance department. But like your guys' department is real busy, but they're a collection point that I can go into rather than try to, you know, scrounge them up. Or have them mail them out or whatever, you know, fill it out. And then we'll interview them. And then from Mount Everett, I've sent as many as 12 kids out. And in years past, we used to have a tour bus and take them all out from Berkshire County, and we'd almost have that thing full. Okay. But now we can do most of them in a van, you know, 12-passenger van. So,
Great, and
Yeah.
do people?
That was excellent, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Do people have any questions or things they want to know about?
I think that would be quiet, but it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quiet for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed. That's this meeting, there are other meetings coming, there are things that we'd like to do that, I mean, is that the principal of the elementary school?
Yes.
I mean, she talked about the program, but the leverage were there.
yeah, I wanted,
How do you mean, you should know about it.
Yeah.
So something like that's we got to at least rekindle or something.
yeah, I wanted to mention, thank you for putting that on for the veterans.
Yeah.
Some schools do, some schools don't.
My pleasure. Thank you for everything you all did for our country.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very well. It's in your.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
Now.
Thank you for having this meeting because we've been trying.
Yeah, no, I'm glad it worked out, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So the next thing I just wanted to flag in your packet is the October 1st enrollment report. That's a snapshot that's taken on October 1st, but we never share it on October 1st because we have to verify it with each of the member towns and then all the other towns that are connected. The probably most important thing is on the bottom of the first page, the percentage of kids from each of the three towns. Great Barrington went down a little bit, Stockbridge went down a little bit, and West Stockbridge went up a little bit. And we'll see these percentages again as they connect to the assessments as we're working in the budget process. And then I think we all remember that last year's senior class was a particularly large class. So the number of district kids went from 830 last year to 814 this year. And then if you turn it over with the list of all the choice students and all of that, our total number of students is 1,108. And then we could look at it in different ways and do all sorts of things with that, but very similar to last year, except last year's class was large. And there's some other things we noticed. We got a number of in-district kids in the middle school who had been attending local private schools this year, right? So there are students that have a right to enroll, and many more did this year than previously. So that's an interesting thing. The other thing folks ask about it is where we are with school choice. And we've kept school choice in the entire elementary school and in several grades in the middle school. And people now will be applying for school choice for next year. We also have wait lists in several grades. And I think it's only gonna get, with the new high school coming online, there's only gonna be more demand. Any questions about this?
Well, also, I think there'll be more, more kids coming in from private school as the high school comes on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that's gonna be a significant,
I did too.
I mean, we're seeing it already.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then the next thing are, and this is a little unusual, but 3 memorandums of understanding. And let me talk to the first one first, and then I'll talk to the other 2 together. In our contract, we have something, a typical teacher teaches 5 classes a day, and we have something that lets us compensate a teacher for teaching a 6th class. Historically, that's only been at the high school. And this one extends it to the elementary and middle school. And the first time somebody does it, they get $2,000. And if they do it 2 years in a row, they get $5,000. That was something we folded into this several years ago it's not really a sustainable practice. If there's a funny thing with scheduling and somebody needs to do it every once in a while, it's okay. But part of the reason that we put in the $5,000 was to try to discourage principals from doing it and to also realize the impact of it on teachers. Because if you normally teach 5 classes and you're picking up a 6, it really leaves you a little harried, right, and exhausted. So my strong recommendation is that you vote to approve this MOA that essentially extends the existing 6-period agreement at the high school to the elementary and the middle school.
Is there any discussion?
I don't understand how that works at the elementary school.
I mean,
Makes total sense in middle school, but like they don't teach periods at the elementary school.
Yeah, so Cynthia, do you have an example of anybody who's doing this?
Kim Churchella did it last year when we were short, orchestra. She didn't take her prep.
And she,
Oh, she's your teacher though.
right.
She's the music teacher.
Music
She
teacher.
doesn't teach orchestra.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't really work for classroom teacher, because what we.
I know, I was
six
thinking class teacher, that's why I said it didn't
Yeah.
work, and now that makes, yes,
Okay, good, thank you.
yeah.
okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. I have a motion, a second, discussion. Hearing none, roll call, Sarah Janetti,
Yes.
Allison,
yes,
Jason,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Bill,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Sarah,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
and I, it's unanimous.
Okay, so the next one's a little unusual, but all our contracts aren't negotiated on the same time schedule, and our biggest number or biggest member group are the teachers. When we last did the teacher contract, we changed the language around paid parental leave to be more consistent with the state language. And it exists for one group starting 2 years ago, but it doesn't yet exist for the Unit C, which are the paraprofessionals or the cooperative group. So what we're proposing is that we use the exact same language that we have in the teacher's contract for Unit C and the cooperative group, but that we implement it immediately rather than waiting a whole nother year, as this is a contract negotiations year for both of those groups, and then implementing it the next year. This is just like a nice and decent thing to do. And that's why I'm strongly recommending we do this now.
Discussion. A motion.
I move to approve these, 2 MOUs
Do I have a second?
as described.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Sarah,
Yes.
Allison,
yes,
Jason,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Bill,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Sarah,
Aye.
Rich,
Yes.
and yes, it's unanimous.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. The next one's the MSBA update. So we're super excited about the vote. We continue to pinch ourselves on how great that news is. And we're moving forward. We're in conversations again with the designers and architects and our owner's project manager. We're filling out all sorts of paperwork for the MSBA and for bond counsel to start getting that moving forward. And then I think the big news, and Jason can add on to this, is we're scheduling a whole nother round of meetings that are with high school teachers and staff around sort of every possible thing, right? To go one level deeper, to get their feedback one more time as designs are refined. And then we're reactivating like 8 or 9 working groups to look at everything from landscaping to health and safety to exterior design. There are going to be a ton of moving pieces and a ton of work in the next 3 months as they really fine tune and finalize the design. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you summed it up well. I think, you know, it went from being a theoretical to a reality now. So, you know, all the teachers, the administrators at the high school, all these working groups are now, you know, the reality is that in the next 3 to 4 months, we have to have a finalized plan as to everything from what the exterior is gonna look like, the material, the grounds, the minutia of each classroom. So, you know, this is it. After 4-month period, you know, we're going forward with the building process. So, it's exciting, it's great, it's a lot less stressful as far as, the vote goes, but it's still a lot of work and it's high stakes, because obviously we want to go right for the next 75 years plus that this building will be going to. So, we're kicking it off with a building, committee meeting next Monday at 5:30, and we'll probably be meeting every other week, after that, for the next few months, to really try to do our best to, get the best building possible.
Right, and while often the building committee is in person and online, knowing that we're going into Thanksgiving week, there's no pressure to come in person.
Right.
Like, it may just be me and Jason sitting here, but if other people want to participate, feel free to participate online and not in person.
And the other thing is, I would say, we had a lot of great support, through the community, during the vote, and a lot of those people, if they want to stay involved, it's a great opportunity through these different working groups, subcommittees that we have. So you can just reach out, you can either reach out to me directly or to Peter, the school, and to see what kind of groups there are, what kind of groups might be interesting, for you to kind of continue your input on the project.
Great. And belonging and safety, a lot of really good and thoughtful work's going on in the schools, and I won't go into more detail on that now.
So, subcommittees, policy subcommittee, we have a second meeting of policy ECAF, so security cameras in schools. Rich, you have a.
I have a proposed amendment, and I actually sent it in writing to Peter.
So I'm gonna pass this around, and the update is the piece in red.
Yeah, I'll just make my motion and people can have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to amend, the policy, security cameras in schools by adding the following. The superintendent shall report to the school committee in executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20A, 21A4, annually as to the use of security cameras in the schools. The report shall include a description of how security cameras are deployed, how and for what purpose they were used in the preceding year, and who has granted access to video recordings for the security system in the preceding year. The report shall occur no later than the July 31st of each year for the preceding school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
I have a point of order. The word session isn't in print here. I heard it.
Oh,
In the first line.
did I say session now?
Yeah, you did.
Well, that's my motion.
Right, well, I'm just,
Yes.
as a point of order, I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah, that's what I meant, so,
I
you can catch that.
Yeah, no, I changed that. I also have one other point of order.
Yep,
In the first reading, there was a sentence that didn't make it over, which was cameras will not be used for evaluation purposes, which was at the end of.
That's important.
Of the 2 paragraphs preceding your addition. So I just want to know that.
but that's part of it,
that's
yeah,
part of
this is just so you guys can see it.
Yeah,
I will say that this is maybe a compromise between Peter and I on this. He and I have talked about this for a long time, since we had the Justice Department grant with security cameras in there. I have grave reservations about security cameras being used in schools at all. The ACLU has a great report about the effect of, use, I want to say improper, just use security cameras in schools. I think the policy was well written from Mask and with Peter's edits, but there's no we have no protection against who can watch our kids in the schools once we have those security cameras in there. And don't delude yourself that you think you can. And, there's legal processes and legal processes that we may not even know about, that will allow people to watch our kids in school for whatever purpose they want. There's also the disparate impact of these type of security devices in terms of criminalizing what is normally student conduct. I have never seen that in our district, but if you read the ACLU report, you'll see a lot of it. So where Peter got me to is that we just needed an additional check on this besides just leaving it to full discretion of the superintendent. You know, like all things we pass, we can't just assume that Peter's gonna be here forever and we trust him to administer this program. I think we have to make sure that there's some some check and balance and some friction in the process to make sure that the use of security cameras in the schools is comports with our community values. So I thought this would be a good way to do it. And I cited the general law in there. There's a provision that's gonna be done all in executive session, that's directly on point on this, so it doesn't have to be something that's aired publicly.
Do we have cameras there now?
Yes,
So we have cameras without a policy.
we've had that for a while.
Okay.
Is once a year enough?
I don't know.
I wonder if we start with once a year and then see if it's enough, and then if we need more, we amend it.
Yeah. Either there was an incident or something, there's nothing to prevent this,
right.
for us to be briefed in executive session as to what it was.
And just to be clear, you're voting aye.
I'm voting aye. I'm voting aye. I mean, I had an amendment that says there should be no security cameras in school at all, and I've come to this.
No, I-
It's fine.
I mean, I agree with your points across the board.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is, Peter's convinced that this is a good way to deal with it, and I agree with him, so.
So we have a motion and a second on the amendment. Is there any other discussion?
Who selects where the cameras are?
Functionally, Steve and I do in consultation with the principals, but we also consult with the folks that install cameras and they have some insights about it.
Anyone else?
I just, I mean, just anecdotally going into other schools, it seems like every other school has cameras. I was just wondering, is it that the case is that the vast majority of schools in Massachusetts have cameras, or is there some schools that don't? Does anyone know that information?
It's my understanding that the vast majority of schools do. Part of why we brought this to you all for a policy is it's important to have a policy, but the other thing we need to do is put up a little signage in schools informing people that we have cameras in use. And it would have been premature for me to put up, or to direct, I'm not putting up the sign, but like to direct Steve, to direct his folks to put up the signs until we had it. But it's unfortunate, but it's a very common practice.
Yeah, I mean, when we first got I don't know when we first had cameras, but when there was an upgrade with the federal grant. I mean, I was in favor of putting them in because we need it, because, you know, we need to protect ourselves against.
Anyone who's watching,
But you gotta be careful about it, that's what I'm saying, you can't, you know what I mean?
anyone who's watching the meeting, just understand, we're not all of a sudden putting cameras in. They predate Peter's tenure here. There were cameras in the school when we had a series of bomb threats before Peter got here.
There you go, it's
So
all.
they've been in the school a long time. They may have been grainy and hard to see, but we've had them for probably upwards of 20 years.
Over 20 years.
Yeah, that's exactly. So the headline is not, we're gonna put cameras in the school.
They're in all the schools.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second on the amendment. So roll call vote, Sarah Janetti,
Yes.
Allison,
Yes.
Jason,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Bill,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Sarah,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye,
and I. So the vote on the amendment is unanimous to have a vote on the main motion.
motion approved as amended.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Sarah,
Yes.
Allison,
Yes.
Jason,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Bill,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Sarah,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
and I, it's unanimous. Thank you, everyone. Buildings and grounds, haven't met. Superintendent's evaluation,
Have not met.
finance subcommittee.
Well, we met before today, Kristen led us through a kind of a good list of factors that'll influence the FY 27 budget, including revenue issues and cost issues. And kind of the consensus of the committee is we're gonna move forward with asking the administration to give us our usual kind of level programming budget to see what it's gonna look like. If we just do again next year, basically what we did this year. So we'll talk about that in December. But the big unknowns are the things you guys are used to, obviously. The chapter 70 money's way up in the air, and there's we discussed health insurance quite lengthy, and we'll know that at the end of December, but there's some concern about what that rate increase is gonna be. And it may be very impactful, unfortunately. But we'll see.
Thank you, Richard. Negotiations subcommittee, we have started negotiations this week with Unit C of the teachers union, which is the paraprofessionals, administrative assistants, and other members. And we will be starting shortly with the cooperative group. Personnel report.
Yeah, just one that I think is notable. We hired a school psychologist, Christina Marcotte, and she starts on December 1st. And she comes to us, she's really well qualified. The search committee loved her, and we're excited for her to start working with us.
Terrific. Any old or new business before the committee? Any public comment?
Let me just see. I don't see any.
By unanimous consent, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.